What's up, y'all? This is the Unbiased Fan Brim Reaper from an undisclosed location with a short video. Just to cover a little bit of boxing because I haven't been as active because I've been doing other things, dealing with life. So I hope everybody's having a blessed one. So let's cover a couple of things. So, first and foremost, Tank has pleaded guilty, which was probably the best move for him to get any leniency. It looks like it's not going to affect the April 15th fight. So that's a good sign for that fight. Also, in regards to the fight as well, I had made a video before, said they were going to get the terms taken care of. I had a feeling they weren't going to let this fight go by the wayside, so that's good. I hope they do have the fight in either Vegas Raider Stadium or something like that. I think that'd be a good idea for them to do that, but that's their business to sort out. So that pretty much covers that. We got that fight square. Then we got the Dominican Ali. Somebody said that had me laughing. Michel Rivera, he came up positive, or he was for banned substances. So shout out to my man IOTBA. He was going ham on him, but we gotta give him a little bit of a break because from what it looks like, he came up positive for supplements to lose weight. So that means he's probably pushing really hard to keep his weight down, and he might need to just move up to a higher weight class because he's using substance he shouldn't. So there's a penalty for that, but it's not the same as, unfortunately, Conor Ben. It's not steroid supplements, things that mass steroids. It was clearly supplements that shows that you're trying to lose weight. I forgot the name of them, and I could go back and try to get it, but it's just not that deep. So y'all be a little easy on the young man, and hope he's able to move forward with his career and do what he got to do. All right, so we got a little bit of stalling tactics with Usyk and Fury. Fury, common denominator. Whenever there's any delays, it's going to be probably Fury's side. The fight was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. That was a substantial financial gain for both fighters. But for some reason, Fury wanted to have the fight in Wembley. So he pushed it and they got the fight in Wembley. But by doing so, you're digging into those pockets. So Usyk is losing money, and now he's asking for the lion's share when you're moving the fight over from Saudi Arabia where the money was larger. Kind of don't make sense to me. This is kind of fugazi, just to be honest. So Fury, you need to cut the crap. Usyk is a dog. I want Usyk to win. I'm not gonna lie, but Fury is going to be a very tall task. But the way you move in Fury, you're moving kind of scary, bro. Stop moving scary. You the big dosser. Act like it. Get the fight done. Let's see this undisputed heavyweight fight. Because you just beating Wilder does not cement you as an all-time great. You'll go down as a good heavyweight fighter who had a nice little run, but you got to clear some people out. You got to at least take out him and Anthony Joshua. But I didn't heard that you're not going to even fight him either. So you're looking a little shaky out here in these streets. But hopefully that fight gets made. So that covers that. What other fights is going on? On the ladies' tip, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor's getting their rematch on, and I know Baumgartner is probably wanting the winner, but she may have to fight Michaela Mayer in the rematch before she gets that fight. The reason why is because if Amanda Serrano wins that fight, they're going to be 1-1. So that's going to just lead to the trilogy. It's going to lead to the trilogy. And if you lead into the trilogy, you can't sit, You just can't sit. So you're going to have to fight anyway. Even if it wasn't the case, even if Katie Taylor won the second fight, you're still going to have to get a fight in between that because you're not going to wait till, October to fight again. The ladies fight, unlike the men. The ladies get the job done. The best fights the best all the time. It's looking kind of old school for the ladies. It's looking like my era, but we're going to leave that alone. But shout out to all you ladies that's out there in the ring putting it on. You deserve our money more than the guys do, just being honest. So I'm sure there's some other stuff to cover, but I'm not going to go. Oh, yeah, there is something to cover. Wilder. Broner. Then you got Harrison talking about him not being able to get fights. I've been saying this, and a lot of people have said this, but people who are, riders for a particular promotional company, they're not wanting to see reality that PBC is in a little predicament because the money's not there. Then, Showtime continuing to lose its value. Para's stock price going down, and now Steven Espinosa is the president of CBS Sports, who has to answer to someone now. They're going to cut some of their budget because they're not going to put on big pay-per-view fights if it ain't bringing in the revenue. But it may be beneficial. It may end up working better out long term, and PBC might be able to make a market, and they might be able to do a better job of giving us good fights on non-pay-per-view cards. Maybe they can have those on CBS, on the app with CBS, and then the pay-per-view only be the best of the best. We're not gonna get all these tank pay-per-views because none of those guys he faced were pay-per-view worthy. The only reason why Rolly sold because he was running his mouth. But Rolly can't fight that great. Not in the echelons of what we're talking about, greatness in boxing. He'll beat our butts, but that ain't saying much, you know. But that I hope they are maneuvering. I don't wish PBC, to fall apart. I don't. But we're gonna be honest. We're gonna be real about it. They need to change their model. You can't put every pretty good fight on pay-per-view. You can't. And then the rumor, Spence is spinning the block on Crawford. I know it ain't true, guys. I don't believe the hype. I don't. They're probably spacing out the Spence fight for Thurman, pushing it back a little bit because they got so many pay-per-view cards, month to month to month. Now, the Zone is definitely raising their prices, and it may be a little much, but if you look at the comparison, the Zone is raising their prices to $24.99 a month, and then it's $19.99 a month if you get it for the year. So even if you get it for the year, it's $240, right? I think that's right, $20, 12, yep, like $240. That's the price they've raised it to. If you're a person that had the Zone previously, you can be a little bit, wavering on it. But if you look at what PBC has been doing, if you're paying $75 a pay-per-view, 3 pay-per-view fights, that's the cost of your the Zone for the whole year. And the beautiful thing is the Zone is giving us some fights, even if the app was still only $9, $10. The Ryder versus Canelo fight, the Joshua versus Franklin fight, those are not pay-per-view fights. So I respect them putting them on the Zone app. And whatever you pay your monthly subscription for, that's cool. I respect it. The Wood-Laura fight's coming up. That's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that fight. And then you got Stanley versus Ortiz. And that's not pay-per-view, that's on the Zone app. So they're giving you enough fights for the value of your money when you look at it overall. But I can understand a little bit of the distaste for the price raise because it's hiking up, like 120%. That's a very quick hike. But if we're comparing it to PVC, which that's the highest price of them all. So when I'm looking at it, Top Rank is actually probably giving us the best value for our buck potentially because the ESPN app is only $7, $8 a month if I can't remember. I think it's $8 a month. So outside of and they give us a lot of good quality fights that are not pay-per-view. So right now, if we're looking for the bang for the buck, right now Top Rank is giving the best value for your dollar. The Zone was giving them much better value, but it's still respectable value. And unfortunately, with PBC, it's not doing that great for us because every fight is pay-per-view. But that leads me to what I'm saying, that I believe the CBS Sports app is going to end up being vital. And hopefully they're able to do something moving forward where they're able to keep the budget respectable, but still put fighters in position to be compensated for, generating viewership that leads to the pay-per-view. Because it needs, this sucks for the fighters that's older now, that's been with PBC. But the newer fighters, they can have that module of earning that big paycheck instead of getting the big paycheck in fights that wasn't big fights and then having to take less because they didn't spend all their money out. So we can hopefully get back to some of the old school build a fighter up by having them seen by more people and eyeballs because they're on, nationwide platforms and it doesn't cost the consumer money. And then when they get to that position, we're willing to pay for it. Because we can talk about all this piracy and everything, all this in piracy, but the end of the day, Roy Jones fought Mike Tyson. They were both over 50 years old, and they did over 1 million pay-per-views. So the intrigue is still there for people to pay for fights. You just got to give us what we want. You can't give me a turkey leg and say you feed me chicken breast. It don't make sense. You can't give me Dookie and call it a 5-course meal. It's just that simple, guys. So I hope y'all get it together and y'all put it together and y'all make it happen moving forward. I don't wish bad for PBC. I just don't wish them to do what they've been doing and continue to be able to do that. And those changes, I think, are coming. So we'll see what the future holds. But that's 10 minutes of the time. I appreciate you guys chopping it up with me. Unbiased fan out. Burn Reaper.